Amount of evidence that is now piling up against Erika Kirk. I've seen enough. Erika Kirk should be dragged into a police precinct. The assassination of Charlie Kirk was something akin to a regicide, right? The assassination of a king to install a new ruler who the king would have never approved of. Turning Point USA for Erika Kirk, and what I think is fair to refer to as their federal accomplices. Anyways, back at headquarters, I am told it's business as usual, and it's kind of giving me like, I don't know, LBJ when he gets sworn in that famous picture. Unfortunately, sworn in. Unfortunately, of course, he's sad in this photo. Gosh, he's obviously not wanting to be the president of the United States. JFK was shot and killed, and now LBJ has to step up, unfortunately. But I gotta be honest, I wasn't there. I don't think LBJ was actually that upset. JFK, right, knowing, as I do and as Charlie did, believe that LBJ was involved, which then implicates the feds, because she loved Charlie. She loved him like Lyndon Baines Johnson loved JFK. No time to grieve. She needed to be sworn in as the new leader before his body was even cold. She's a grieving widow. And she's forced to assume his role and reverse everything that he did, like LBJ did after JFK's death. Malevolent. I continue to underscore what Elizabeth Lane, the reporter, stated in her post, that in her opinion, Erika Kirk exhibits the attributes of a psychopath. That Erika Kirk might be a psychopath. Erika Kirk is a psychopath. A psychopath is the best answer that I can come up with. My assessment that she's a psychopath. Erika Kirk, and to continue to pretend that anything she has done is normal, to pretend and act like she is a grieving widow when she is anything but. She plots behind the scenes. She sends people to fall on the sword for her. She's more akin to Cersei Lannister. This woman was not actually a grieving widow. She wasn't a grieving widow. That actually, one could argue that she may have even been a psychopath for doing this, being able to do this after she killed her husband. Do you know how they built that case? People who actually cared about Eric and offered various details, and to the point that, well, none of these points and various details about how Erika is grieving would ever survive in the court of law. Ironically, in this case against Corey Richins, for which she was ultimately found guilty, the prosecutors played the 911 call and said explicitly that it didn't sound like a grieving widow.
The first minute is not the sound of a wife becoming a widow. To echo her friend Chelsea Barney, the first minute is the sound of a wife becoming a black widow.
She's not grieving right. She sounds like she's become a black widow, not a widow. And to refuse some foregone conclusion that spouses simply would never have a hand in the murder of one another, which actually flies in the face of reality. Something is off. People who were willing to stand up and do what you guys describe as immoral or evil and demanding a further investigation when nothing makes sense. And so what I would say is, here is what I know. Grieving widows do not lie about threats that their husbands were facing the night before their death. They don't lie about that stuff. Grieving widows do not make up quotations that the surgeon never said about a Superman neck to manage PR, least of all on the day that they're burying their husbands. That right there is why it is impossible for me to think that Erika Kirk is not complicit somehow. That is her being coached and sent to delude the public into believing that there was more and it wasn't so clear-cut when she knew that it wasn't. Evil. That's evil. Hunter showed more emotion in an hour and a half talking about crack than Erika has in 8 months. Yeah, I saw a lot of comments like that, that it's crazy that you're seeing more emotion and character out of Hunter Biden than you are seeing from the wife of the Black Widow, the CEO. I think Erika is calculated, and I want to say to JD Vance, you better wake up fast, okay? That's a Black Widow, my friend. She's not grieving right. She sounds like she's become a Black Widow, not a widow. The Black Widow, that's a Black Widow, my friend. You will get bit.